Morning News Wrap. I am Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So, as always, as it has been a usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news and obviously something related to the Champions Trophy. Well, there are many developments as far as the 8 team tournament goes. One of them is obviously the Dubai semi-final has been confirmed for the Indian cricket team, and New Zealand will play the other semi-final which will take place in Lahore. And how it has basically happened? Well, Pakistan and Bangladesh have been knocked out of the competition courtesy New Zealand's win over Bangladesh, which basically means that now both India and New Zealand stand at 2 wins each in the Champions Trophy, and the remaining two teams in the Group A, Pakistan and Bangladesh, well, they won't be able to progress in the tournament here. So that's pretty much about it as far as the confirmation of the two semi-finalists go. And how would the other two semi-finalists would be determined? Well, the matches are going to take place today and tomorrow. The two matches are going to be very important. Australia will take on South Africa today at Rawalpindi, while England will take on Afghanistan tomorrow. That's going to be Wednesday. Now let's just talk a bit about the scenarios of both South Africa, and England, Afghanistan here. Well, it's an important game for both Australia and South Africa. First of all, the team that wins today at Rawalpindi will more or less confirm their spot in the semi-final, and I say more or less here. However, in case of England and Afghanistan, the team that loses will be all but assured of an elimination from the tournament. Now, in case of Australia and South Africa, there is definitely one of the factors that might hurt both teams' chances today, and that is rain. There is rain predicted at Rawalpindi. There is rain predicted basically during the time when the match takes place. There are about 50 to 60% chances of precipitation at Pindi. Usually at the time when the match is about to begin, it's not really a passing shower at all, and that is not good news for both Australia and South Africa fans, knowing it's a short tournament. Every game holds equal importance, and that's where both teams would be really looking forward to a result that would actually be in their favor. So that's about it as far as the Australia South Africa game is concerned. Hi Sanjay Seth, good morning. How are you? You can post any of the questions or the comments or any feedback that you have in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to take it. Secondly, about the England-Afghanistan game, well, England have suffered a big blow ahead of their game against Afghanistan here. Braden Cast, the pace bowling all-rounder, has been ruled out of the Champions Trophy due to a toe injury, while Rehan Ahmed, the leg-spinning bowling all-rounder, has been added to England's squad. But then, the point here is the most important point, that Rehan Ahmed won't really be able to join the England squad for the Afghanistan game. So that's basically a big blow. England have been left with only 14 players for the game against Afghanistan. One is definitely going to be a mandatory change, with more than likely Jamie Overton replacing Bryden Cast for the game against Afghanistan. But then it remains to be seen how England really go about their other combination against Afghanistan. So that's pretty much about it for the England-Afghanistan game. That also holds equal importance for both teams. The team that loses that game will be all but eliminated from the competition. So this is pretty much an update, pretty much the latest updates from the Champions Trophy. Two semi-finalists have been confirmed. Two positions have been confirmed. Like India will play in Dubai, New Zealand will play in Lahore, while England-Afghanistan game will be a virtual knockout game because the team that loses will be all but eliminated. And in case of Australia and South Africa, the team that wins today will be all but confirmed of a place in the semis. Nikita Mohan has a comment that, do you think Rohit will retire post-Champions Trophy regardless of India's outcome in this tournament? It does look like. Absolutely. There are a lot of rumors going around Rohit's future post the Champions Trophy, Nikita. And as you know, AB de Villiers once said very famously that there's always a little bit of truth in the rumors. So it does look like that, this might just be the last ICC tournament for Rohit. His test form hasn't really been great at all, and there are obviously reports that India would want to move on from Rohit Sharma in the red ball cricket specifically because of his poor form in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. He stood down also in the last Test match of the BGT there. However, his white ball form has been good in ODIs. Obviously, T20 he's retired now. So let's see how things really go. But then I think if India win the Champions Trophy, he might want to continue in the ODI format, but then it still remains to be seen whether there would be a succession plan or not, and there would be definite discussions with both Rohit and Kohli also here because they're definitely on the wrong side of the 30s. And when the 2027 World Cup like approaches, when it's very near, both would be around. Kohli would be around 38, 39. Rohit would definitely be 40. So I think discussions will take place in that case. So let's see, how things go. We'll obviously, keep you posted with all the rumors or the updates that we have. Now let's just see, what the newspapers really have to say. After a long time, I have a newspaper in my hand. It becomes very difficult, when I'm in studio, I have a mic, holding in my hand. So can't really hold a newspaper. The best thing, I have in my hand now, this is it. And obviously, it features a big story about New Zealand sealing a spot in the semis. Then the Indian Olympic Association, they formed an ad hoc panel to run the boxing federation. And why it has basically done it? Because there is some instability going on in the boxing federation here. There is a lot of administrative instability. So that's one of the major reasons, why a temporary panel has been named to run the boxing federation here. There's a bit about the WPL too, that Sophie Excelstone, she basically did a great job as UP Warriors defeated RCB in the first ever super over in the history of the Women's Premier League. Another comment by Nikita Mohan before I move on. She's saying that she saw Nasir Hussain's analysis. Lots of foreign cricketers and media are insinuating that ICT, Indian cricket team, and BCCI have had a ridiculous, unfair advantage in this tournament. See, it's obviously not great that all teams are not really playing at one position, or maybe at one place as far as the whole tournament is concerned. Nikita basically goes on to say that trying to cheat their way to a Champions Trophy win cause India the only team that don't really have to travel anywhere. See, that's basically up to both the BCCI and the PCB, who everyone wants to see India Pakistan play not just in ICC tournaments but in bilateral cricket also, T20 Test or ODIs. It's obviously up to the government. And as far as the cheating is concerned, I think it's not really cheating at all. There have been discussions that have already took place. There were reports even well before the Champions Trophy that India would not travel to Pakistan, and there is nothing there's nothing new that has happened. As far as the Champions Trophy is concerned, it was expected that India would play their matches in UAE or Sri Lanka. Now India are obviously playing their matches in Dubai, so it's not really cheating. It's just unfortunate that there's a situation that a team has to play in a different country. A team has to play all their matches in a different country. It's because of the political tensions that haven't really been sorted out, and in a way, cricket has suffered because of it. So, Nikita, I'll just take your last comment before I finish with a couple of news. There's a bit about Venus Williams has turned down an Indian Wells wildcard here, while CSK have roped in Sridhan Sriram as their assistant bowling coach. And obviously, there is going to be, more than likely, it does look like that there will be a shake-up in Pakistan cricket once again, because Aqib Javed is set to be shown the door after a poor outing in CT. And if PCB are really watching this, I would suggest them to not do it, because there's been a lot of shake-up already, and you would rather want to have some continuity in your team rather than make those changes again and again. So I really hope they persist with Rizwan and Aqib, because I think both have done a great job so far, winning ODI series in winning ODI series in at least so Australia and South Africa is never easy. So let's see. Okay, Nikita's last comment I'm taking, because if any other country had this advantage and India didn't, wouldn't we be complaining about it as well? I'm sure fan groups would definitely complain about it. But then, as I said, Nikita, it's an unfortunate situation. It's not really a cricket situation. It's basically a political issue here, due to which cricket is being affected. So I think that's about it. But personally, and I think with all the media, pretty much the media persons that I've had a chat with, it does hold. I think it's unfortunate that India Pakistan don't really play together, and it's unfortunate that India are not really playing at a place where all the countries are playing their Champions Trophy matches. So let's see how all of it happens. Thank you, Nikita. Nikita also, I think she's referring to one of the comments of Frickin' Awesome. Yeah, Frickin' Awesome says that Australia and South Africa are facing each other for the first time in Champions Trophy history. Yes, I did a special video on the interesting facts of Champions Trophy. You can check that out. It is on the Sports Today channel. A mouth-watering clash. In the last 10 years, South Africa dominated more though. Yeah, that's about it. South Africa's ICC tournaments performance are literally getting better with every passing tournament here. Nikita is now referring to Frickin' Awesome. She says that wonder if Klassen is back. They should give Stubbs one game at least to add some firepower. I think a final decision on Henrik Klassen will be taken just before the match only. He will have a fitness test and then only things will be decided. So let's see how things really go. But then if he is fit, then more than likely Tony Zorzi will go out because of the way Ryan Riggleton went about his business, and also there's not a surety whether Klassen would be fit to keep behind the stumps, so he can play as a proper batter with Ryan Riggleton taking on the wicket keeping duties apart from opening the innings. Um, Priyanshu, I'll come to you. 1 minute. Frickin' Awesome says that if Klassen is not fit today, Corbin Bosch should walk in place of Tony Josie and Shamsi in place of Ngidi. They should play two spinners considering the wicket condition. I like the second one, Shamsi coming in for Ngidi. I think two spinners would benefit South Africa. It did them in the 2023 ODI World Cup also, knowing the conditions. And I think even at Pindi, you can go in with two spinners, with one being a Chinaman. I'm not really sure if you would want to go Corbin Bosch in place of Tony De Zorzi. I would rather persist with Tony De Zorzi here and then see how things happen. But yeah, I really like the second change, Shamsi in place of Ngidi. Better to have more batting depth in such situations. Priyanshu is asking Gulati, what do you think? Can Australia beat India in the semi-final? I think Australia would find it difficult to defeat India in this semi final. But what Australia can do is that, knowing the conditions in Dubai are very low and slow, Australia would want to go with a very spin heavy attack. You're going to have Maxwell, Zampa, assuming India face Australia in the Dubai semi final. I think Australia would definitely want to go in with more spin. Zampa, Maxwell, it could be Tanveer Sangha also. You never really know. So better to go in with more spinners. Try to squeeze out those overs. Try to make sure that Indian batters don't really get those big runs. With that said, I think Australia can beat. But if I have to, tell you my percentage of, who might, even Nathan Ellis. Yeah, good point, Priyanshu here. But I'm not sure if Australia can really beat India this time around because of the lack of their first choice bowling attack. But I would still give Australia a great chance. So assuming it's an India-Australia semi-final in Dubai, assuming, I would still give India 60, but Australia is going to be 40 here. I think Australia in ICC tournaments, they are a different beast. And if they go in with a good spin attack, if they bring in Tanveer Sangha, have Maxwell Sangha and Zampa, get in those great overs, I think it's going to be difficult for India. Just the last couple of comments. Manu John says that Australia would go to B1, so no Oz versus India in semis. I think that still depends how that group really shapes up. So there's still a lot of things are remaining. Still, there are two semi-final places to be decided. Anything can happen. For that matter, even either of England or Afghanistan can also go. You know, in go past go into the semis there. So let's see how things really go. And that's, yeah. SHNKRDS says that night of long knives in PCB. So yeah, that's about it as far as the morning wrap is concerned. Stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. We'll be bringing you more updates relating to Champions Trophy. Nikhil Nas, my colleague, will send all the relevant details of the Indian cricket team who are currently in Dubai and have obviously sealed a place in the semis. So we'll be bringing you more videos. So thanks, Nikita. We'll see you. And until then, it's Siddharth saying goodbye, and we'll be back very shortly.